Hey everybody, this is your boy Jonathan, and so I wanted to talk about something that is interesting. This topic is going to be San Francisco and dating, and I'm in New York City right now, Brooklyn, and what I wanted to talk about is the truth. And I know a lot of times when I've talked about San Francisco and dating, I put San Francisco in a bad light. And there's good aspects and there's bad aspects. So this is just my experience. And this is what I've seen. And it may not be everybody else's experiences, but this is what I noticed. So when I was in high school, there were always a lot of girls. And when I was at the community college, there was always a lot of girls. There was always a lot of girls willing to give a man a chance. And even girls that people usually think, girls that come from cultures that people think are racist, they were still willing to give me a chance. So that was good. The thing about it was the reason why, I didn't feel it was good during those times of my youth was because I was living with my parents in high school and the first part of college, and like I said, my parents, they was like, you can only go to school and go home, and you can only do this and that, and they never really let me go out and learn social skills and stuff like that. So when I was in college, high school and the beginning of college, there were girls available, but I just didn't have the social skills. So by the end of my years at the community college, I started building up the social skills, learning what to say and what to do. And by that time in my life, it was like I was at the point where I should have been out of college and had a job and could afford my own place. And when I would start dating girls, it was kind of like I had to deal with family and stuff like that, and when to bring them over to the house and stuff like that, how to get alone time, and it was really a little bit hard to deal with. But that was all my fault, because I was supposed to be at a certain level by then. I was supposed to be an independent man. I was supposed to be an independent man or whatever and handle my business, and yeah. So I can't say anything about San Francisco dating life, like if you're in the community college or if you're in high school. There's a lot of girls around. You'll have a chance. That's fine. Once I started getting into my core curriculum at the university and started, focusing on my major, that's when, I noticed the issue in San Francisco and dating, right? What I noticed is that everything was an identity group, and everybody wanted to be a part of an identity group, and everybody wanted to have this solid identity, and you were either Christian or Muslim or black or Jewish or LGBT, whatever they call it. You were either a political person or a human rights activist, and it was kind of like, just to meet people and make friends, it was like you had to be a part of an identity group. And then when I joined identity groups, I was never good enough. I was never good enough, and I thought that was a problem. And I noticed, in New York, it's not necessarily like that. I haven't really met much people like that. I met people who have their identity, but they also know how to work with others and just accept others for who they are. But I just noticed when I was at the University of San Francisco, it was just like this whole strong identity, and don't hang out and talk to people who don't want to be a part of your identity or don't have the same identity as you, because it's going to be a threat to your identity. So it was horrible from the university. So after the university and I graduated, and you know, I was going around to learning how to date outside of college and stuff like that. And that's when I really found out it started getting hard. That's when it really started to get hard. I noticed that San Francisco right now, they have a lot of people in the tech industry moving in. So every woman I would talk to, like, worked in tech and had a good job. And, you know, it was like, who's this guy that, you know, was making like $15 an hour? You know what I'm saying? It was just like, every girl I met, it was just like, they had something going for them. And not that that's a bad thing. I think every girl should have something going for them. But once, you know, I mean, a man has to be able to put something on the table too. And if a man can't, you know, he's not at the same level as a woman, then it's harder to, you know, it's harder for them to come together, and it's harder for the relationship to be sustainable, because, you know, a man is supposed to take care of the woman. So I noticed that. I noticed it became a little more racially charged, and basically there's a certain cultural group in San Francisco. It's a huge cultural group in San Francisco that basically has owns a lot of the property and basically owns everything. And it's kind of like, people from that cultural group only want to date people in that cultural group, or other races that they feel, and other cultures that they feel actually can give them a leg up. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, dealing with being from that culture, it was kind of like, you know, who are you? You know what I'm saying? And then the other big thing is just certain religious groups out there too. It's like a large religious group. Like, San Francisco is predominantly a certain religious group, and it's kind of like everybody's a part of that. There's people don't really think for themselves out there like that, and so it's like, if you're not part of that religious group, there's something wrong with you, and this, that, and the other. And so that's the main issue I saw. Just identity. It has to do with identity, you know. You have this identity of, you know, being a business person and having a good job and making all this money, or you're from a certain culture that, you know, look down on other cultures, or, you know, it's just, or you're a part of a religious organization that looks down on everybody else because they think they're right. And it's too much. And so that's one of the things I love about New York, is that it's mixed. You can be who you want to be, but people generally accept you and don't really bother you. And so that's what I really like about this city. And that's why this city is easier to date. You know, it's a lot easier to find a to find a girlfriend out here. And I'm gonna leave you with this. There's two types of things, right? There's a practical dating culture and a perfectionist dating culture. A practical dating culture is a dating culture where all you need is a little bit of money. You just need to have a job, be able to take care of yourself, and that's it, and not have a prison record. A perfectionist dating culture is you have to make a certain amount of money, have a car, have your own house, be a businessman, you know, be a certain religion, be of a certain race, be a certain body type. That's a perfectionist dating culture. And I felt like a lot of this city is that San Francisco is big on the perfectionist dating culture. All right, so that's my opinion on San Francisco's dating culture. If you like this video, subscribe and give it a thumbs up. maybe subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, I'll get back to you. All right, this is Jonathan, I'm out. Peace.